Hello, I'm Elisabeth, an obsessive backyard gardener who might be able to offer you a couple of tips.
And I'm Keith, a landscape consultant, and I'm also passionate about gardening.
The one thing we both have in common is muddy boots. Muddy Boots is proudly sponsored by Clyde Compost, the premium compost trusted by gardeners who want results. Packed with goodness, free from nasties, and perfect for healthy soil and thriving plants. Visit ClydeCompost.com and tell Vince that we
Sent you.
Oh, God. Welcome back to Loose Leaf, our monthly chit-chat where Keith and I catch up on what's been happening in our gardens and beyond over the last few weeks. It's a good chance to share the ups, the downs, and any new discoveries we may have found out in the garden. We hope you enjoy Loose Leaf as much as we do. If not, please let us know. What is happening in the garden, in your gardening world, Keith?
Well,
Lots.
lots and lots and lots. So this time of the year, the tomatoes have gone in.
Gone into the soil.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
the best time now.
Is it? Oh, fantastic.
Yep, so they're in.
Yeah. What
because
else?
the soil temperature's at the right sort of temperature. That's
Which
the key.
is
Well, minimum
17,
of 18 degrees.
18.
You know, so they normally say that the best time to plant is actually the Cup weekend down here in
Yes, that's
Victoria.
right.
The Cup weekend. So we're past
there.
that.
We're there, airing. Yeah, we're there. We're there.
So the tomatoes are all in, and they've gone into soil that has been sitting there resting for probably about, some of them for nearly a month. That they had their last brassicas pulled out.
Yep.
And I treat my vegetable growing areas in two different manners. So the raised beds, for instance, I take off the top, which is generally hoo-flung dung, and stockpile it, and then I dig out a bit of the soil below it and put that round the fruit trees, and then I fill that back up with Clyde compost, Monash rock dust, and then I use Nutrog's Populate or Go-Go juice to put over that.
Yep.
And the reason for that is that even though I've put those beautiful components into that soil is not a living soil at that particular stage, because a day or two after, you could go out there and open up all that goodness that I put in there, and the one thing you won't see is worms. There's no worm life in there.
Well, just shock them.
Because the microbes need to be doing the work first in order to get the whole thing going, that then brings the earthworms in to feed off.
Right.
Or not the earthworms, these are actually compost worms, because I use the worm tea from my worm farm, and I tip that over it as well.
Yes.
As well as using the Populate and the Go-Go juice.
Yeah. Well, that'll be
So that
jumping.
inoculates the soil.
Okay. So what about the worms that are further down, though? So they've gone to sleep, is that what you're saying? And then they haven't actually come back up to the surface?
Well, if you think about it, you've got earthworms which live in the soil.
Right, okay.
All right, so they come up to the surface to feed, and they're not the ones that you generally have in raised beds like mine. I've got them in my other bed, which is just a ground bed. Right. But the worms that are in the raised beds are actually compost worms.
Okay.
So they're living in Clyde compost.
Yes.
And they're feeding off the Monash rock dust. Mm-hmm. So they're doing all that sort of stuff with the microbes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So they've been sitting there for that period of time, and the Go-Go juice or the Populate is putting billions of microbes into that soil, which then start that whole process off and get that soil just jumping.
Keith loves his soil.
We
all love our soil, but Keith especially loves his soil. Okay, so the tomatoes have gone in, so that's fantastic. What else is going on?
Well, the other things is we're looking at growing our summer crops. So November is not ready, real time ready to be planting things like cucumbers or zucchinis or these sorts of things. They're a much later crop that needs to come in when the soil is up to about 20, 25 degrees Celsius.
A while for that, yep.
Yeah, so the things that we actually are growing are the plants that fit in the middle of those two things, and they're things like capsicums and chilies and eggplants. Mm-hmm. So they're the sorts of things that we've got potted up, ready to go into the soil during this particular part of the year.
Fantastic.
The other thing that we've already planted, which are now going absolute gangbusters are baby sunbeams.
Oh yes, some beans. Yes.
Sunbeams.
Yes.
So we've got a whole bed just dedicated to baby sunbeams.
Fantastic.
And these are a beautiful basketball-shaped plant. And I've had so many people on Instagram contact me and say, don't go promoting the baby sunbeams too much because the Diggers Club have sold out of stock. They haven't got any stock.
Is the Diggers Club the only place to go to get them?
Well, it is the only place that I know that has got that particular species
Right.
that they've called the baby sunbeams. There might be other seed companies that have got the same plant, but they're not known as that, and therefore I don't know what they're called. Yeah,
so you can't hard to find.
So I've managed to post a few packets off to a few people from the harvest that we got, that we saved.
Yep.
Because once you've got your baby sunbeam in the ground, you've got baby sunbeams for the next 10 years because you let a whole lot of them just go all the way through to drying themselves on the bush, and then you harvest those and store those for next year. And that's what I've done.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Anything else? Because you're a bit busy flying off. Oh, you've been to Warren.
Warren, yeah.
You got to tell us about that. You want to tell us about that when you?
Yeah. Well,
perhaps that could be a dedicated podcast.
We might talk about that next time.
Okay. All right.
But yeah,
you've been a bit busy socially.
Been a bit busy. Yeah.
Socially with the social people.
Yep.
Social gardeners.
And then the other things that have been taking me away from the drawing board have been things like consultations and I had a client who I've done an extensive garden for that our friend Matt Phillips has been doing most of the landscaping on.
In Dramana.
At Dramana, yeah. So I've had
to
go down there on 2 occasions and place all the plants. So the perennial beds have been put in, and they are actually going along absolutely gangbusters with this beautiful Clyde compost, which is in the soil. Along with the lignite humate, and then I've planted or placed all the other plants that have gone around the property. And this was a really interesting property because it's on the hill at Dramana, so it's on a slope, and
not going to fall, is it?
No, not at all. But the problem that the client had was that all their downpipes either went into tanks, and when they overflowed, just was dispersed over the ground because there was no legal point of discharge put in by the council. All right,
the builder or the owner should have organised that. They have to apply for a legal point of discharge.
But they can't. The whole thing is when the whole place was subdivided, there was no storm water drains put in except for those on the street who had a house that was on the street or their
that's
front
why
yard.
Those houses fell down the hill.
The reason that one fell down the hill was because there was a leaking water pipe from our southeast water. That was the problem that they've diagnosed with that one.
That was what, right.
But that's the same sort of thing. It's continual leakage.
Cool.
So what we did with their place was at the back fence, which was the lowest point of the property, we put a swale drain across that the back fence, and then we put a great big pond in down the bottom.
Yes.
So the water will go to that, and then when it fills up, it's slowly dispersed out through the site.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Big job.
Yeah, but after the all the Clyde compost and lignite humate was put into the soil, the whole thing was capped over with granitic sand. And that, of course, percolates, that when it rains, it percolates through those layers and you don't get enormous amounts of runoff, particularly now that the plants are all in there. Their roots are also absorbing all that moisture that could possibly come. So that's been an interesting job all the way through.
But an enjoyable challenge, and they've spent a lot of money on a lot of plants. You put in a lot of mature plants.
There's a lot of mature plants going into this job.
We'll have to see some photos, maybe put them up on
we will do that,
some
for
stage.
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. Is that it for you? No, it goes on and on with this boy. What else?
The consultations.
We've got some kookaburras out the window too right now because it's lovely kookaburras.
Beautiful. The other thing too has been some consultations, and one is a friend of yours that you had. You shared a house with in Elwood.
Oh, Anthony.
Anthony, yeah. So I went and saw him. He had
saw him.
I went and saw him.
We went down there. Oh, wow.
Yeah, went and saw him because
I think he's in our Q&A actually. But anyway, good.
Yeah. He had a problematic place garden bed that he needed to get screening done. So I went down, then we had a look, and he showed me some of the existing plants in the garden that he'd put in. And one was a totally deciduous camellia tree that he'd planted, and it was totally deciduous.
How's that?
Well, because the soil was wrong.
Thinking, I don't think I know if the deciduous camellia.
So this was incredible.
Oh, boy.
Where he lives, the soil is classified as H, and H means hazardous, which means that when it dries out, it opens up with great big cracks. So there's no elasticity in that soil.
Yeah, no room for the roots to move.
No. And the other problem is, and that's why that camellia died, was the pH was 9.
Oh, God.
And, of course, camellias need a pH of below 7, preferably around about the 5.5 to 6 mark. So some of these plants he put in, he didn't realise that the soil was so alkaline that it killed them. So
what's he going to do with the soil?
We're going to remedy that, or he's going to remedy that by he's going to be putting Clyde compost into that soil with a mixture of lignite humate. Now, the lignite humate is a pH of 5.5,
right,
and that's gone into the soil. The Monash rock dust has got a pH of 6. So that's going to pull that all the way down as well. So that's a good natural way of doing it. And of course, the lignite and the compost is going to add organic matter to that H classified soil. So that'll open it up really, really nicely. And then you'll finish the whole lot over with the granitic sand over the top of it, which has got a pH of 9.
Right.
Granitic sand.
Okay.
From Hillview Quarry.
Yeah.
But his soil is at 9 and the granitic sand is at 9. So he's not adding a higher pH.
No,
he's got the same pH.
Yeah.
So those components we've put in are going to pull that down.
Fantastic. I'll have a good chat to him about that.
Yeah. So we selected the same plants that we've put here on your boundary. So we've gone for the Syzygium Australe Straight and Narrow.
Syzygium? What do you call it?
Syzygium.
Which is a lily-pilly.
It's a lily-pilly, but it's a hybridised form, so it only gets a metre wide.
Straight and narrow, did you say?
Straight and narrow,
yes.
And 6 metres tall, which will give him that privacy he requires on the back of that property.
Yep.
And because we've put all that goodness into that soil, we are ensuring that growth is going to be really, really quick on those plants.
Yeah. Makes a big difference.
Same as your place here.
Makes a big difference. And I'm still watching the kookaburras having a swim in the bath out there, so I shouldn't be because we're doing a podcast. But they're having a lovely swim in the little pond out there. You've been very busy.
I have been very busy.
I haven't been as busy in the garden, but I've got a few things I could like to chat about.
All right, tell me.
It is loose leaf. Well, we've been busy planting the back garden, which has been very enjoyable because I've been doing it very slowly and trying to follow your fabulous plans, and hopefully I haven't planted them in the wrong place because you haven't been here to place them like you have in Dramana.
Goodness. Well, you only had to call me and ask me, and I'd have been around with bells on. You know that.
Try and be a little bit independent.
But hey, listen, what I have done for you.
Oh, what have you done for me?
Well, I have actually got some
tomatoes.
No, I've got tomatoes. Yes, that'll be coming. But the beautiful Rudbeckia gold quail.
Oh, of course, fantastic.
Now,
thank you.
I've taken root cuttings off my plant and potted those up, so they're ready for you to go into your garden bed out the back there.
Thank you.
It is just stunning plant.
I know. I'm looking forward to that very much. But anyway, so there are still a few that I cannot find.
Yeah.
But we'll just keep sourcing for those.
People don't realise that that nurserymen's growing plants aren't like a supermarket. You can't go down there and buy what you want when you want.
At all times, I know.
At all times,
things do become dormant at times, and you have to wait for them to grow and all that sort of stuff. So I do understand that, and I don't mind. I'm happy to wait. But I'm loving the process, and I'm loving the steps. I'm just loving just having them in there. I love looking at them and watching them.
Well, that was the thing that I mentioned when I first came here this morning, was just the amount of growth that is in your garden.
I know, it's gone berserk.
And it is attributed to one thing.
Me.
Yeah, the growth is attributed to one thing, the soil.
The soil.
So the Clyde compost.
And a little bit of love and affection and tender care and all that sort of stuff. But Clyde compost, all the things that we bang on about all the time.
Yep.
Clyde compost, lignite, Monash rock dust,
Myco Gold.
the Biostims Myco Gold, all of those things.
Yep.
I know, and it's fantastic. Yep. And all the lovely Nutrog products, the Go-Go juice and the Populate and everything else that we constantly put in. It does make a huge difference. And I have to say, I think the verbena, which drives me insane, which is beautiful but drives me insane, it's growing all the time because the soil's so good. Just it should go away. Anyway, I've been transplanting a few things from one spot to another in the garden. I transplanted the Alchemilla mollis from the front to the back garden, as you suggested, because it was not looking happy, and I'm hoping it's going to be fantastic out there. I've replaced the Achillea. I have replaced it with Achillea summerberry, so I'm really excited because the Achillea out there is going. I never knew it grew so tall.
Well, that's that particular variety.
Well, that's fantastic, though. I love it. So it's going to be very exciting to see it flower. I've been dividing and transplanting some Calamagrostis, which is a variegated grass, from the front to at the back, which is going to be beautiful. As I said, everything's going berserk. The beautiful sedum autumn joy.
Oh, it's looking fabulous.
It's gone berserk.
Little flower heads starting to pop up now.
Yeah, I can't see the flower heads yet. They're probably there, but there's so much growth. It's fantastic. The cat mint, the
Agastache out the front.
Agastache out the front is going well.
Really looking great, isn't it?
Anyway, that could go on forever. The vegetable garden, the crepe myrtles are also it's so beautiful to see some green leaves on those. The arugula. The rocket is fantastic, and I know it'll go berserk, but I don't mind because I love it, and I just love picking it and eating it. What else? Herbs have gone berserk in the ground and in the raised beds. Everything. It's just the best time of year. It is just the best time of year to see all this lovely new growth. So I appreciate that. I'm not going to go on and on about that. One of our regular listeners had a little story to tell, so I thought I might tell that right now.
Okay.
His name is Jeff. He had a funny story he wanted to share with us of his escapades with the infamous white cabbage butterfly.
All right.
I thought Loose Leaf was probably the perfect platform time to read it, so here it comes. I thought I'd share a funny story inspired by Keith, he said. Since hearing of the pesky plant-eating white butterfly, I discovered I have a lone one in my garden. Lucky Jeff to have only one in his garden. He thinks he's only got one. When I found it, I tried to catch it and remove it. This entailed following it around the garden throughout a weekend, but it flew away just when I was about to catch it. Little did I realise it was a crafty little critter and had survivalist skills equivalent to our armed forces. Needless to say, I had to respond with a covert operation. Operation White Wings, he calls it. The operation was carefully planned and I was ready to spring into action the next time I saw it. As a few days passed, it clearly knew I was ready. The fateful day came. One Saturday morning, while sipping a lovely cup of coffee, the time of reckoning was upon us. There it was, staring me down atop a capsicum plant. I sprang into action. Operation White Wings was a go. After a good 5 minutes of heavy fire, by that I mean chasing it around with a fishing net, I was victorious. I had captured the beast. After releasing it elsewhere, I sat back with my coffee only to discover my security camera captured what could only be described as a Benny Hill garden sketch, with me running around like a madman. While I'm all for comedy and self-depreciation, this video won't see the light of day for others. But I expect the concept will bring a smile and a chuckle to you, all, hopefully. Humiliation aside, Operation White Wings was a success. No more leaf-munching winged beasts of hell in the garden. I'm especially grateful my neighbours did not witness the sting.
Oh.
I'm feeling there might be more, but he thinks he only had one.
I think he'll have a lot more now that things are warming up. He'll be inundated.
He'll be very busy
with all its brothers and sisters and aunties and uncles and all the other family of the white bloody butterfly.
Yeah, so good luck running around the garden with your fishing net, Jeff. But that was a lovely story, so I thought we'd spread it, share it. And that, I think, brings us to the end of another Loose Leaf. I could have said more and more about the garden, but, we haven't got time. We really do enjoy being able to take a moment to stop and reflect on what's been happening in our gardens, and I think it's quite therapeutic in a way. So thanks for listening, and happy gardening. Thank you for listening to Muddy Boots. For more information on today's podcast, please go to muddyboots.net.au, and happy gardening.